Hello, welcome back to Reading Success Academy. I'm your teacher, Paula Smith. In this lesson, we're going to be working on the OI sound in some second grade spelling words. So we're going to be looking at two different ways to spell the OI sound, O-I and O-Y. We're going to be using the phonographics method for spelling. It's a method that is dyslexia friendly, so it's helpful for kids who have dyslexia. If you have a student who's in the second grade spelling level or third grade spelling level, maybe even struggling with third grade spelling, this would be a great lesson for them. We're going to be looking at those two different ways to spell the sound oi, and we're going to be adding some color to the words to help us see where all the sounds are in the words, and specifically how to spell that oi sound. So if you have a learner who'd like to join, they'll need paper and pencil and two different colored pencils. Now, to set up your paper, what you're going to do is fold it down the middle like this. I call it like a hot dog bun because it opens like that. And we're going to put OI on one side and OY on the other with a different color. Okay, so, and it doesn't matter which colors you use as long as they're very different from each other. OI on one side, OY on the other. And we're going to get right into this list. Okay, so I don't have my colors on this screen, but whichever colors you decide for OI, make sure that you stay with that color all the way through all of these. And whichever one you decide to go with for OY, stay consistent with it all the way down. All right, let's take a look at our first word. And I just want you to follow along as we go. Our first word has three sounds in it. We have k, oi, n, coin. There's a lot of coins here. Now there's just three sounds, and we're going to be putting this one in our OI column. Now I made my OI green, so that's what I'm going to do up here too. OI there. Now I'm going to start out with just a regular pencil. So we're going to make those sounds as we write them. This is a multi-sensory approach. We're using our sense of sight, our hearing, and our sense of touch all working together at the same time to help us learn the information faster and hold on to it longer. All right, so we're going to say each sound as we go. K. And then switch to your oi with OI color. Oi. Underline that oi. And then last sound is n. Hopefully your handwriting is a lot better than mine. That's a mess, isn't it? Okay, sometimes I don't have a very good time with my marker. I'm going to put my other column heading up here too while you're finishing up your word. That almost looks like AY, but that's OY. Promise. All right, so there's coin. And now you can see, since you have your other sounds represented over here with your pencil color, or black in this case here, it really makes that spelling of oi stand out to your eyes a little bit more, and it's going to look a lot different when we do the ones with OY over here. So let's continue on. Let's find another good oi word. We have cowboy. So this time we have the oi spelled with OY, and I'm going to have to draw over my word a little bit here, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to worry about that with your paper because you just have your columns on a nice blank sheet of paper there. Now, what you'll notice about this word is that there are two chunks. If you've been doing some of my lessons before, you know that a chunk is part of a word that has one vowel sound in it. So since there are two vowel sounds in this word, there are two chunks. And you might be thinking, well, where's that other vowel sound? Well, you see that oi, that's a vowel sound, but there's also an ow right here. That OW works together to make an ow. And we did some ow words last week. We did ow spelled with OU and with OW. Those aren't the only ways to spell ow, but those are the main ones. So when you get to that part, you're going to hold that ow sound while you write both of those letters. Now I'm going to take that back off of there. And this is going to look a little messy because I'm writing over the word. I apologize for that. All right, you're going to say each sound as you write the letters, but this time, since it's a two-chunk word, we're going to spell it one chunk at a time. We're only going to do one piece of the word and then the other. All right, so the first part of this word, the first chunk is cow. So we're going to say k, ow. And we'll group those two letters together for that ow sound. And we're going to put an eye stopper in here. What the eye stopper does, it helps your eyes break up the word a little bit better so that you're not trying to focus on all the letters at one time while you're studying it. All right, now we're ready for our second chunk, which is boy. The sounds in boy are b. And then switch colors. Oi. Boy. Cowboy. Cowboy. All right, moving along. Okay, now we have another word that has three sounds. J, oi, n. Join. And as you can probably tell, this strategy really helps you with your reading too. Because once you can identify two letters, or maybe even 3 or 4 letters that work together to make one sound, then it makes it easier to sound out the word. You're not trying to make a sound for each one of these 4 letters, because it doesn't just sound out right when you do that. If you say j, ah, I, n, jayan, that doesn't sound anything like join, does it? Right, so if you know to look for little groups of letters that work together like this, you're going to be ahead of the game. You're going to be able to sound out the words a lot faster. And if you need a little help with that, I have a lot of reading classes that I teach, and you can just send me a message if you want to hear some more information about that. Okay, back to join. This one's going to go in our OI column. So start out with your pencil, and you're going to say each sound as you write the letters. J, oi, underline that oi, and then n, join. All right, let's move on to our next word. All right, now we have another 2-chunk word. I'm going to mark something here for you. You see how we have this ul at the end of the word? We're going to be doing a lot of work with some of those ul spellings later on. But this is one of our spellings of ul, and it actually represents a little bit of a vowel sound at the beginning of it. So we would treat this as a vowel sound, ul. So there's 2 chunks. We have r, oi, roy, ul, royal. All right, now it's time to spell it. Have your pencil. We're going to put it in your OY column. Since it's 2 chunks, we need to take it 1 chunk at a time. What's the first chunk you hear in royal? What's the first chunk? It'd be Roy, right? Roy. So let's build Roy 1 letter at a time. Well, not 1 letter at a time, 1 sound at a time, sorry. R. And then switch for your oi. Oi. And now we need to listen for the second chunk in royal. So we have Roy. What comes next in Roy to make royal? Royal. Yeah, so here we go. Oh. And you probably noticed I was holding that sound while I was writing both of these letters. Whenever you have a vowel sound that has more than 1 letter, you want to hold that sound while you write all the letters in it. It's just a reminder to your brain that it's going to take more letters to make that sound, that we spell it with more letters. Okay, moving on. Oh, gotta find my arrow. Here we go. Wow, this is kind of a mess, isn't it? Okay. I'm going to skip this one because it's really getting confusing having having the words up here. I should kind of move these slides around a little bit. But with this word, you'll want to make sure that you are paying close attention to when you have 2 or more letters that make 1 sound. Because in this word, in fact, I'm just going to go ahead and erase what I already have, and we'll just talk about the important parts of this one. Okay, so on this word, this is choice. And if you listen for the sounds in choice, you'll notice that there's only 3 of them. We have ch, oi, s, choice. Just 3 sounds. So why do we have 6 letters? I don't know. I didn't decide how to spell it. Don't blame it on me. But what we need to realize is that the CH makes 1 sound. That's your ch. The oi has 2 letters, And also your S sound has 2 letters. So we have a little bit more of a challenge here when we're spelling it. We need to remember to put 2 letters for your ch, 2 letters for your oi, which you're already used to doing, and then s. And this is a sound that you can hold too while you're writing both letters. The sound ch, you can't really hold that one. It just kind of pops out and then it's over with. So you can't really hold that one. Just remember, it takes 2 letters for that one. So that one will go in your OI column. Here's another word that has 2 chunks. So if we are going to continue with our columns, this would go in your OY column. If you're not familiar with the word, let me just show you how you would go about sounding it out. So we're going to make a sound for each letter or a group of letters that might make one sound if you know what they are. And if you don't, again, reading classes, I can help you out with those. So we're going to make a sound for each letter until we think we have a chunk, a part of a word that has a vowel sound in it. So we have an, there's a chunk, and then we have j, oi, joy, and then we push those 2 chunks together. Enjoy, enjoy. I'm not sure if she's really enjoying something or not. It almost looks like she's kind of mad. Could be either one. Now we're going to go back and forth between our colors here. Start out with your pencil to write the first chunk, which is N, N. And you probably noticed that I said very clearly here because a lot of people will say enjoy. It sounds more like an I sound when they pronounce it. And if you do that, if you say I when you're writing this letter, you might be tempted to write the letter I instead because it sounds like a short I sound. So make sure you're saying N for your first chunk, N, and then joy after you put your I stopper in. J, and then oi, joy, enjoy. I hope you enjoy working on your spelling words with me. All right, let's take a sneak peek at some of the other words that are in this list. We have soil. Okay, let's get rid of my mark on there. There we go. So we have soil. So that would go in your OI column. We have annoy. That's another 2-chunk word where you're going to have to say one chunk and then the other. And you're also going to group together these 2 N's because there's only one sound here. It's just N. So there's only 3 sounds in this word. N, oi. All right. Then we have voice. This is another one where the CE works together to make one sound. So you'll hold that sound S while you write both of those letters. All right. There are a few more words in this list, but I'm not going to go through all of those right now. If you would like to finish this lesson, I have all of these lessons recorded in a video course. And we also teach all of these classes live on OutSchool Monday through Friday. So you can just message me and find out when those classes are. Let me know which ones you're most interested in, whether it's the live classes or the recorded classes. I would love to help you with your spelling. I also do a lot of work with reading too. So if you're a little behind in your reading, happy to help with that as well. All right, make sure that you hit the subscribe button so you know when I go live next. Tomorrow, we're going to be working on some 3rd grade level spelling words. I'll see you then. Bye.